Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into the world of golf. Kind of.
Kinda, yeah. It's through this interesting audio lesson you shared, aimed at English learners.
Exactly. And our mission really is to unpack it, go beyond just, the surface level vocabulary.
Right. We want to dig into the core ideas, maybe find some surprising bits in there.
See what this specific language slice tells us.
Yeah. So the main thing we have is this audio lesson. It uses this made-up scenario.
Involving Tiger Woods at Pebble Beach, I think.
That's the one. Using golf to teach English. And we've got some other bits too, vocab lists, common phrases.
And even that story about sports in general, which was interesting.
Yeah, that too.
And for everyone listening, look, this isn't just about golf talk, right?
No, definitely not. It's about seeing how language works in a specific little world.
And maybe understanding the sporting tongue, as it were, could actually be useful.
Could be. Maybe in business chats or just, appreciating how different groups talk.
Okay, let's get started then. Some basic words first. The lesson mentioned aficionado.
Ah, yes, aficionado. It's more than just being a fan, isn't it?
Right. It sounds like you need real knowledge, real passion.
Exactly. Like a coffee aficionado knows their beans, the brewing, all that stuff.
It's a deep appreciation.
And using a word like that, it signals you're kind of part of the in crowd,
Shows you've bothered to learn the details. Builds trust, maybe.
Could do, yeah. Shows you're invested.
Makes sense. Okay, next up. The club. Golf club.
The lesson called it, what, a long J-shaped tube.
Something like that. Pretty simple description.
It is basic, but, there are so many different types of clubs.
Oh, right, like woods and irons.
Exactly. Each one's for a specific job, a specific kind of swing. Choosing the right one. Oh, that's strategy.
It's like choosing the right tool for any job, I suppose.
Pretty much. It's analogous to other complex choices.
Huh. Interesting. Okay, and the golf course. The lesson just said a very big green area.
Which it is.
Yeah.
And that's the stage for this whole scenario the announcers are describing.
Right, the hypothetical one. At Pebble Beach.
Iconic place. And there's supposedly $1 million on the line.
Wow, okay. So high stakes.
Definitely. And they zoom in on the 8th hole, a par 4.
And it's tough.
Oh, yeah. Known for being difficult, hazards and things, really tests a player.
And didn't they mention someone famous doing well there?
They did. They brought up Jack Nicklaus, the legend. Apparently he got a hole-in-one.
On that specific hole.
On that exact hole.
Yeah.
So, that hangs in the air. It sits a ridiculously high bar.
An ace. That's what they call it, right?
Yeah.
Understanding how rare that is really ramps up the drama for Tiger's turn.
Totally. So now it's Tiger's turn. You can almost feel the pressure.
He asks his caddy for his driver. That's the big one for distance off the tee.
Yep, the power club. But the announcer, points out he looks nervous.
And then
Not a good swing at all. That's what the announcer says.
ouch. That's gotta hurt. Especially with $1 million potentially waiting.
Yeah. It's a rough start to the hole.
Oh.
And we find out things weren't going great before either.
Oh, what happened?
He barely got a bogey on the 7th hole.
Bogey. That's 1 over par, right? Not good.
Not good. And just barely made par before that. So things are looking kind of bleak for getting a birdie here.
A birdie being 1 under par, which is good.
Right. Seems unlikely now.
And then it gets even worse. His ball goes way off.
Way off. Deep into the trees. So far off, the caddy actually has to, climb a tree to even look for it.
Climb a tree? You're kidding?
Nope. Picture that. High-stakes golf, and the caddy's scrambling up a pine tree or something.
It's almost funny, but probably not for Tiger. Shows how unexpected stuff can happen, even in golf.
Or business. Or life. Yeah. Unexpected hazards. You gotta adapt.
And just when you think it can't get stranger.
Bam. A bear.
A bear? On the golf course?
Apparently. The answer yells, "Run, Tiger, run!"
Okay, that's definitely memorable for an English lesson. A bit unconventional.
Makes it stick, I guess.
Right. So, okay, we survive the bear attack, hypothetically. Let's circle back to the language itself. The language takeaway part.
Good idea. Key golf terms.
First, hole-in-one, or ace. Ball in the hole in 1 shot.
Yep. Super hard. Needs incredible skill. And probably a dose of luck.
You hear about them, but they're rare, aren't they?
Very rare. That's why it's such a big deal when it happens.
Okay, then tee off, starting the hole.
Exactly. The first shot, usually use a little peg, a tee, to prop the ball up.
Got it. And the caddy, the person carrying the clubs.
Yeah, but they do more than just carry clubs. They give advice, help read the course.
Like a strategist?
Kinda, yeah.
No.
Strategist, maybe even a bit of a psychologist sometimes. Really important part of the team.
Right. Tiger asked for his driver. We said that's for long distance.
Off the tee usually, the big hitter.
It's like I don't know, the opening move in chess almost. Setting the tone.
That's an interesting way to put it. Yeah, it's about that initial power, setting up the rest of the whole, like a flagship product in business maybe.
Or a key opening argument. Yeah, I see that. Okay, storing terms. Par.
Par is the standard.
Yeah.
The expected number of shots for a hole based on its length and difficulty.
So it's the benchmark you're measured against.
Precisely.
And if you take one more shot than par?
That's a bogey.
Yeah.
Generally seen as, well, a negative outcome on a hole.
Okay. But one less shot than par.
Now that's a birdie. That's good. Shows you had played the hole efficiently.
So par is neutral, bogey is bad, birdie is good. Got the basics there.
That's a core scoring language, yeah.
All right. Good grasp of the golf stuff. Now, what about those general English phrases they pulled out? The fluency builder section.
Right. Phrases you can use anywhere.
First was, as you can see, for pointing out something obvious.
Yep. Like, as you can see, the kitchen is still being remodeled. Or, as you can see, that haircut was a mistake.
Right. Or the announcers could have said it about Tiger's swing if we were watching. As you can see, that wasn't great.
Exactly. It directs attention to clear evidence. These phrases pop up in golf talk, but they're useful everywhere.
Totally. Okay, next. It's not his day.
Yeah. When everything seems to be going wrong for someone.
Like that story they used, headache, ripped pants, spilled coffee.
We've all been there, right? Just one of those days. It's a very relatable phrase.
Definitely. And the last one was to have a hard time, meaning finding something difficult.
Very versatile. You can have a hard time understanding a word or...
A beginner golfer might have a hard time just getting the ball in the air.
Exactly. Or struggling with math, like the example said. Applies to all sorts of challenges.
So these are useful everyday phrases just highlighted through the golf scenario. Let's zoom out a bit now, the broader context of golf.
Right. They touched on golf and business, that old stereotype.
Deals on the golf course, is that actually a thing?
Well, there's definitely a perception
Uh-huh.
and, probably some reality to it.
How so?
It's a few hours of informal time together, right?
Yeah.
Outside the office, you can build rapport.
See how someone handles themselves, maybe. Under a bit of pressure, even if it's just golf pressure.
Exactly. Maybe not signing massive contracts on the 18th green, but building trust, understanding. Yeah, that can happen.
Makes sense. That relaxed interaction over time. And they also mention needing specific golf English lessons.
Yeah, because it's not just the basic words like par or bogey.
What else is there?
Well, etiquette is huge in golf. There's slang, cultural stuff. If you're playing with native speakers, knowing that helps you fit in, build those connections.
It's like any specialized group, really. Has its own way of talking, its own unwritten rules.
Precisely.
Okay. Now, there was also that other story included about the boy, Alex. The power of sports.
Yeah. That one wasn't about golf specifically, but about broader lessons from sports.
It started with him being shy, right? Afraid to even try sports.
Yeah, scared of failing, basically. Very relatable for anyone starting something new.
But his teacher, Mrs. Carter, had some good advice.
She did. Said it's about trying, having fun, learning, not just about winning, which is a great message.
Really encouraging. So he tries the relay race on sports day.
He does. Takes a leap of faith. And even though they didn't win, he felt good just for, doing it, giving his best.
That feeling of accomplishment just from trying.
Exactly. It connects back to that idea of having a hard time, but pushing through anyway. Perseverance.
And that positive experience led him to try soccer.
You joined the team, practiced hard, learned about teamwork.
And eventually scored the winning goal. Nice little arc there.
It is. Shows how stepping out your comfort zone, practicing, working with others, it builds confidence, leads to success.
It really demonstrates those life lessons, doesn't it? Perseverance, teamwork, not being afraid to mess up.
Absolutely. And those are skills you need everywhere, not just on a soccer field, learning a language, tackling a project.
It all comes back to those same principles.
Okay, great. Just to quickly lock in some of that vocab, again, they had a review list.
Right, quick refresh. Putt. That little careful shot on the green.
Yep, the final touch, aiming for the hole.
On the green itself, the short grass around the hole.
The target area.
Main man that was used like a key helper, like the caddy Rick for Bob Copeland in the audio.
Yeah, just a casual term for a reliable person. Buddy almost.
Then break how the green slopes and affects the ball.
Reading the break is crucial for putting.
Cash, well, that was the $1,000,000. Pretty clear.
Uh-huh. Yep. The prize money?
Sand trap. One of those bunkers filled with sand, an
A
obstacle,
common type of hazard.
and an iron, another type of club, metalhead.
Right. Generally for shorter, more controlled shots compared to a driver or wood.
Hazard itself, just any obstacle. Water, sand, trees, maybe even bears.
Maybe even bears. In this lesson anyway.
Swing the motion of hitting the ball.
The fundamental action.
We heard not someone's day again, that persistent bad luck theme.
Mm-hmm.
A shot is just hitting the ball.
Mhm.
And difficulty or hard time, which we talked about.
Wow, there really is a lot of specific language just for this one game.
Isn't there? Shows how sports get woven into language and culture.
Definitely does.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive, we've gone through the golf words, the slightly crazy tiger scenario,
Air included.
bear included, but also looked at those common phrases, the business angle, and that really nice story about Alex and sports lessons.
Yeah, connecting the specific language to bigger ideas about communication, culture, business, and just learning and trying.
Seeing how the language of golf, even if it seems niche, connects outwards.
And how those principles from the Alex story perseverance practice apply just as much to learning English or anything else, really.
Which brings us to a final thought for you, the listener. Think about how understanding the little details, the nuances, even in something specific like golf talk, might actually unlock other things.
Broader understanding, maybe professional opportunities you didn't expect.
So consider the games you're playing, your job, your hobbies, your life. What's the special language there? The jargon, the common sayings, the unwritten rules?
What's the lingo that could give you an edge or just a deeper connection? Something to ponder beyond just golf.